Video 8.2, Commas in a Series. Commas signal a slight pause, but not a complete stop. They are tricky punctuation marks that involve a lot of rules. We will review the most important ones. Commas in a series. Use commas to separate items in a series. A series contains 3 or more similar items in a row. For example, a human eye has a cornea, comma, an iris, comma, a lens, comma, and a retina. The girls like playing golf, comma, reading books, comma, and riding horses. Separating adjectives. Use a comma to separate 2 or more adjectives that precede and modify the same noun. Precede means come before. For example, the human eye is a complex, comma, efficient organ. However, don't use a comma when the last adjective in a series is really part of a compound noun. For example, whose red eyeglass case is this? You wouldn't put a comma here after red because eyeglass case is a compound noun. It's like one word. Step by step. To decide whether to put a comma between 2 adjectives before a noun, first, put and between them. If and makes sense, use a comma. For example, I felt a sharp stabbing pain in one eye. Could you say, I felt a sharp and stabbing pain in one eye? Yes, then you should use a comma. If and doesn't make sense, don't use a comma. One tiny eyelash hurt my eye. Could you say one and tiny eyelash hurt my eye? That doesn't make sense, so there's no comma. Here's a writing tip. When a coordinating conjunction, such as and or but, connects a compound verb in a sentence, don't add commas. However, commas are needed between independent clauses. And remember, independent clauses are like sentences. Jean dropped a contact lens and searched for 10 minutes, but couldn't find it. So in this case, you're not going to use commas because these aren't independent clauses. They are just compound verbs. She dropped and searched. Jen dropped a lens and she couldn't find it anywhere. In this case, we are going to use a comma because there are 2 independent clauses. Jean dropped a lens. She couldn't find it anywhere. They're like 2 sentences. Let's take a practice test. Insert necessary commas. Number 1, color blindness is an inability to distinguish one or more colors. Where does the comma go? If you guessed nowhere, you were correct. This sentence does not need a comma. Number 2, some birds, butterflies, and bees are to some extent colorblind. In this sentence, we're going to put a comma after birds and after butterflies. Number 3, some humans cannot distinguish the colors red, blue, and green. We have commas in a series here after the word red and after the word blue. And number 4, someone with monochromatism sees only black, white, and gray. Similar to number 3, we're putting a comma after black and after white. That's all for commas in a series. Now practice on your own.